Buddha once said, "You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Yet most people live their whole lives seeking love from everyone but themselves. They chase approval, validation, and recognition, forgetting that the greatest strength begins when you stop searching outward and start honoring your own soul. In this world, full of noise and self-doubt, the one who learns to love himself becomes unshakable, calm like a mountain, free like the wind. These are the 7 Buddhist habits that teach you how to truly love yourself. And once you do, nothing in this world can stop you. Practice gentle awareness. Buddha said, "Awareness is the path to immortality. Unawareness is the path to death." Gentle awareness is the art of truly seeing, not judging, not reacting, just observing with compassion. When you sit with your thoughts instead of running from them, you begin to understand the nature of your own mind. Every emotion that rises, anger, sadness, fear, is not your enemy but your teacher. Awareness is the silent space between what happens and how you choose to respond. In that space, transformation begins. When Buddha meditated beneath the Bodhi tree, he didn't fight his thoughts. He simply watched them pass, like clouds drifting across an open sky. You too can do this in daily life. When someone offends you, don't react instantly. Breathe. Watch how anger forms, grows, and dissolves. You'll see how fragile it truly is. Awareness doesn't mean weakness. It means seeing reality before emotion distorts it. Gentle awareness is not something you practice only on a meditation mat. It's a way of living. When you eat, truly taste. When you walk, feel each step touch the earth. When you listen to someone, listen with your whole presence, not with a distracted mind. The smallest acts, when done with awareness, become sacred. They remind you that peace was never lost. You just stopped paying attention to it. In moments of darkness, awareness becomes your lantern. When guilt or regret visit, don't hide from them, acknowledge their message. Buddha taught that suffering is not to be escaped, but understood. The pain you notice without judgment slowly begins to dissolve. Like a wound cleaned gently, awareness heals what ignorance avoids. Real self-love begins here. Because when you are aware, you stop living on autopilot. You no longer repeat old habits that hurt you. You see your fears, but you also see your courage. You see your pain, but you also notice your strength. Awareness makes you honest with yourself, and honesty is the foundation of all healing. So when life feels overwhelming, return to your breath and remember Buddha's words. Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. The present moment is where awareness lives. It's where love begins. And when you start to live with that gentle awareness, you stop being a victim of life and start becoming its calm, conscious witness. Let go of comparison. Buddha said, "Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind." Comparison is the silent poison that eats away your contentment. You look at someone else's life and forget the miracle of your own breath. The moment you measure yourself against another, you step out of the present and into illusion. Everyone walks a different path, shaped by their karma, their timing, and their lessons. To compare is to misunderstand life, because no two souls are meant to bloom at the same pace. When you see someone succeeding while you struggle, your mind whispers, "Why not me?" But that whisper isn't truth, it's ego. Buddha never compared his journey to others who sought enlightenment before him. He simply walked his path with patience. When jealousy rises, don't hate it, see it, understand it, and release it. It's a sign you've forgotten your own direction. Your life doesn't fall behind. It unfolds according to what you're ready for. In real life, comparison hides in small things, scrolling through someone's achievements, watching others loved while you feel unseen. You start believing they are happier, luckier, more complete, but you never see their fears, their sleepless nights, their hidden battles. What you envy is just the surface. Awareness destroys envy because it reveals the truth. Everyone is fighting a war you cannot see. The Buddha taught that a lotus doesn't compare itself to another flower, it just blooms. That is how you must live. When you stop measuring yourself by others, you discover your own rhythm. Some flowers bloom early, others wait for the storm to pass. The timing of your success, your healing, your love, it's all sacredly designed. The moment you trust that, peace replaces envy. Letting go of comparison doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you start growing from love instead of lack. You begin celebrating others instead of competing with them. The joy you give returns to you multiplied. True abundance is not having more than others, it's being content enough to wish them well. That is when your spirit becomes light. So when your mind drifts into envy, remind yourself of Buddha's words. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The more you let go of comparison, the more you return to yourself. You realize that happiness was never missing, it was just buried under judgment. When you stop comparing, you don't fall behind. You finally begin to live freely, as you were always meant to. Speak to yourself with compassion. Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Yet most people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to another soul. The mind becomes a battlefield of self-criticism, where every mistake is a weapon. But compassion begins with the voice inside your own head. When you replace judgment with understanding, you no longer fight yourself, you begin to heal. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's the courage to meet your own pain with kindness. When Buddha spoke of loving kindness, he didn't mean only toward others. He meant to turn that same warmth inward. Imagine a friend who has failed and comes to you in tears. What would you say? You'd comfort them, remind them they tried, help them rise again. Why then, when you fall, do you choose cruelty instead of care? Speaking to yourself with compassion turns mistakes into lessons, not punishments. It's how the wounded parts of you finally learn to trust again. In real life, you'll fail, lose, regret, and say things you wish you hadn't. That's part of being human, not broken. Every morning, when you wake up, you have two choices. Repeat the cycle of shame or begin the practice of mercy. Whisper to yourself, I am learning, I am growing, I am enough for this moment. Even a single kind thought can shift the entire energy of your day. The Buddha taught that what you think, you become, and the one who thinks with love becomes unstoppable. There is power in gentle words. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I'll try again. Instead of, I'm not good enough, say, I'm still becoming. These small shifts shape a compassionate mind. Real self-love isn't grand affirmations. It's the quiet decision not to abandon yourself when things get hard. Speak kindly to your own heart, as you would to a child learning to walk. It will stumble, but it will grow stronger every time you encourage it. Buddha's path of compassion teaches that pain softens when it's acknowledged. Talk to your sadness as you would a dear friend. Tell it, I see you. I know you hurt, but we will move forward. This simple awareness ends the war within. The heart that listens to its own suffering without judgment becomes a sanctuary of peace. In that softness lies true strength, the kind that no failure can destroy. So when your mind begins its old cycle of blame, return to Buddha's wisdom. You, yourself, deserve your love. Speak those words as a prayer, not a command. You'll notice the world becoming gentler because you have become gentler with yourself. Compassion is not something you earn, it's something you remember. And when you finally speak to yourself with that love, every wound becomes a doorway to awakening. Simplify your life. Buddha said, a wise man, recognizing that the world is but an illusion, does not act as if it is real, so he escapes the suffering. Simplicity is the path back to peace. In chasing too much, too many desires, too many goals, too many distractions, we scatter our spirit. The modern mind is addicted to noise, yet the Buddha's way is silence and clarity. To simplify your life is not to lose, it is to gain back what was buried beneath excess. When you own less, you see more. When you desire less, you feel free. Simplicity begins when you learn to let go. Look around your space. How many things have become emotional clutter? Clothes you never wear, plans you never follow, people who drain your energy. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. The more you cling, the heavier your spirit becomes. Start small. Let go of one thing today that no longer serves you. Feel the space that opens inside you. It's not emptiness, it's freedom. In real life, simplifying isn't about abandoning everything. It's about choosing what truly matters. Imagine eating slowly, tasting every bite, instead of rushing through a meal while scrolling your phone. Imagine one honest friendship instead of 10 shallow ones. When you simplify your world, you return to the essence of living. You start experiencing moments instead of collecting them. This is how peace finds you when you no longer chase it through complexity. Buddha's own life is the ultimate example. He walked away from a palace filled with wealth and pleasure, not out of rejection but realization. He understood that comfort does not equal peace. You don't need to live like a monk to follow his teaching. You only need to notice where excess has stolen your stillness. Simplify what you can, and serenity will quietly return. There's beauty in having less, because it reveals gratitude. When you stop measuring your worth by possessions or achievements, you begin to feel rich in ways the world can't define. A simple life allows you to hear what your soul is whispering beneath the noise. The more space you create around you, the easier it becomes to listen. Peace doesn't shout, it waits for silence. So remember Buddha's wisdom: the less you have, the less you have to worry about. Simplify not to escape life, but to see it clearly. Clear your space, clear your mind, and clear your heart. The simpler your life becomes, the deeper your joy grows. Because simplicity isn't the absence of things, it's the presence of meaning. Forgive your past self. Buddha said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned." The same is true when you hold anger toward your past self. You keep punishing the person you once were, even though they were only doing their best with what they knew then. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, it releases its control over you. Every mistake, every wrong turn, every moment of regret was a teacher wearing the mask of pain. The lesson was never to hate yourself, but to learn and evolve. Your past self was not your enemy. It was your beginning. Buddha himself walked through doubt, privilege, and confusion before awakening beneath the Bodhi tree. If he had cursed the prince he once was, he would have never found peace. You too must see your former self as part of your becoming. The person you were made possible, the person you are. When you forgive your past, you stop reliving it. The mind calms when it no longer tries to rewrite what cannot be changed. In real life, forgiveness begins quietly. It might come while sitting alone, remembering something you said, someone you hurt, or an opportunity you lost. The mind starts its old dance of guilt, but this time, you stop it. You breathe and whisper, "I forgive you. You didn't know what you know now." That moment of compassion rewires the soul. Buddha taught that self-love is not indulgence, it's liberation from unnecessary suffering. People often believe they can't move forward because they haven't made peace with who they were. The truth is, your past doesn't need to disappear, it just needs to be accepted. Like a scar that proves healing, your past shows where you've grown. Without those experiences, your wisdom would remain untested. Forgiveness is how the wound becomes strength instead of shame. It turns memory into understanding, and understanding into peace. Even the mistakes that broke you carried hidden blessings. Perhaps they taught patience, humility, or empathy. Perhaps they shattered illusions you once clung to. Buddha said, "No matter how hard the past, you can always begin again." Those words aren't poetry, they're truth. Every sunrise is proof that yesterday's failures don't define you. What defines you is the courage to try again with a softer heart. So sit with your memories, not as a judge, but as a witness. Offer your past self the same compassion you'd offer a dear friend. Tell them, "Thank you for surviving, even when you didn't know how." That gratitude transforms regret into wisdom. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's remembering without pain. And when you finally forgive the person you used to be, you awaken into the peace the Buddha spoke of, the peace that comes from letting go. Live with purpose, not approval. Buddha said, "Your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart give yourself to it." Living with purpose means walking the path that feels true to your soul, not the one that earns applause. Many live like performers, acting for approval, chasing the next compliment to feel worthy. But Buddha taught that purpose isn't found in the eyes of others. It's realized in silence, through service, truth, and presence. The world's noise fades when you align your actions with meaning instead of validation. When you live for approval, you become a prisoner of shifting opinions. One day you're praised, the next forgotten. The Buddha faced critics, doubters, and tempters, yet he walked calmly because his purpose was clear. When your heart knows why it acts, no judgment can shake you. Purpose builds roots. Approval only paints the surface. Every step you take for your truth strengthens the ground beneath you. In real life, purpose may not look grand. It could be showing kindness when anger is easier, creating art no one sees, or guiding someone quietly out of darkness. Approval seeks reward, purpose seeks impact. When you stop asking, "Will they like it?" and start asking, "Is it right?" you begin to live with power. Buddha's path was never about being liked, it was about awakening others, even if they resisted his light. The mind fears rejection because it confuses validation with safety. But Buddha said, "The only real failure in life is not to be true to the best one knows." When you act from that truth, your peace no longer depends on applause. The voices that once controlled you fade into background noise. You become free not from the world, but from the need to please it. Purpose gives life rhythm. When you know your why, distractions lose their pull. You stop chasing trends, gossip, and competition. You focus on what endures your growth, your service, your peace. This doesn't mean isolation, it means clarity. You walk among people but no longer depend on their approval to feel alive. You live from inner conviction, not outer reaction. So when doubt whispers, "What will they think?" remember Buddha's wisdom. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. Let that truth set you free. Live each day with quiet purpose and compassionate strength. The world may not always applaud you, but it will feel your light. And that light, steady, humble, and pure, is how you become truly unstoppable. Practice daily stillness. Buddha said, "If you are quiet enough, you will hear the flow of the universe. You will feel its rhythm." Stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of peace. In a world that glorifies noise and speed, daily stillness is rebellion. It's choosing to pause when everyone else is rushing. The Buddha found enlightenment not through constant action, but through quiet observation. When you practice stillness each day, even for a few moments, you begin to hear what life has been trying to tell you all along. Stillness is not about sitting cross-legged in silence for hours. It's about awareness in motion. You can be still while washing dishes, walking to work, or sipping tea. The mind wants to wander toward the future or cling to the past, but the soul thrives only in the now. Buddha taught that peace is found in the middle of the noise, not away from it. When you learn to carry stillness within you, no chaos can disturb your calm. The practice begins with a single breath. Inhale deeply, feel life enter you. Exhale gently, and let go of everything that isn't now. Do this whenever you feel overwhelmed. Buddha compared the restless mind to a wild monkey, jumping from thought to thought. Stillness tames that monkey not by force, but by patience. Each breath brings you closer to clarity. Each pause is an act of strength in a world addicted to distraction. In real life, daily stillness can look simple. A morning without your phone, a quiet evening without noise, a minute of silence before sleep. These small moments are sacred. They reconnect you to the rhythm of your spirit. People think peace is found on mountaintops, but Buddha showed it's cultivated in the heart. You don't need to escape life to find serenity. You need to return to yourself. When storms come, and stillness becomes your anchor. It keeps you from being swept away by fear, anger, or despair. You begin to respond instead of react, to observe instead of panic. The calm mind sees possibilities where chaos sees only problems. As Buddha said, calm is the greatest power. It's not in your muscles, money, or fame. It's in your silence. That is where real mastery begins. So make stillness your daily ritual, your invisible temple. Even a few minutes of silence can change how you experience the entire day. Don't wait for the world to slow down. Create the pause within yourself. Because when you practice daily stillness, you stop being tossed by life's waves. You become the ocean itself, vast, peaceful, and unshakable. Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." The moment you learn to love yourself, you stop chasing validation, stop fighting for worth, and start living in harmony with your own truth. Self-love isn't arrogance, it's awareness. It's realizing that your light doesn't dim when others fail to see it. When you walk with compassion for yourself, the world no longer shakes you, it starts to mirror your peace. So love yourself fully, fiercely, fearlessly, because the one who truly loves himself becomes unstoppable, just as the Buddha became immovable in his calm,